Right. Good evening. So as usual, we have two of you.
Good evening, miss.
Very good evening, Miss. Yeah. So we are going to start today's class. So sorry. Actually, yeah, like for here, it's like 2:30 when it's 8 o'clock in Sri Lanka. So now it's 3 o'clock. Early in the morning, we went to the temple. I'm like, as a custom, we go to the temple. I mean, like, with the baby when she's completed 3 months. So actually, when we are coming, so there was some traffic in the area. That's why I was late to come and start the class. That's why actually I have taken another half an hour to start the class. Right. So thank you very much for your patience as well. Right. Okay. So where we are now? Yeah. So we are in the discussion part, right? So last week actually we discussed how to answer for discussion questions, and also I gave some homework as well, right? Yeah, okay. So let me share my screen with you all. Screen. And I shared with you the last time, last what? Last tute that we did in the class. Uh, the questions and answers. So we discussed that where the order of answering for such questions for the discussion, especially. Oh, where's the other one? No. Yeah, so we discussed how to answer for the discussion. I mean, like, how to the order of answering for discussion. So better to answer for such questions with the direct answer. And then after that explanation, and also you can give an example, or also you can give, if not, you can give a personal experience. And then after that, as the last point, you can add another point, or also you can contrast what you said before. So that's actually what we have to do. Because if we do that, what will happen is we'll cover all our parts. Yeah, that's what happened. Right. So what I was, yeah, me last week ke mama ඔයගලන්ට answer question එකක් දුන්නා. Mm, yeah. I gave three answers, three questions. I gave three answers and asked you to prepare some answers. So we'll start from there, okay? We'll start from there. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen now. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, as we discussed, we have four ways, four steps when you're answering. So we can give the direct answer, then the explanation, and then after that example or the personal experience or additional point or contrasting point, right? So I gave three questions for you. First one was, why do some people prefer working from home instead of going to the office? The second question was, what are the benefits of international travel for young people? And the last question was, how do you think governments can encourage people to adopt healthier lifestyles? So these were the questions I gave you last week, and I asked you to get prepared for this question, or you can note down anything and come, and so then you can answer. Right. So, first of all, I'll show a sample answer for the as well. So I'm going to show you an answer for the first question, right? So why do some people prefer working from home instead of going to the office? Because there are numerous benefits we'll get, like if you work from home, yeah. So yes, you're working, but at least you are at home, right? So the cost effective එක the time maker likewise. So there are many benefits. So here's my answer for the first question. I'll take it a little bit down. Yeah, we'll read this answer together. So it says, many people prefer working from home because it offers greater flexibility and comfort. So as you can see, in the first sentence, I give two reasons. Yes, people like it because two reasons. The first one is the flexibility, and the next one is really comfort. So I'm going to explain these and also to give some samples. So for example, they can manage their time more effective, especially if they have personal responsibilities like childcare, right? Additionally, it eliminates අයින් කරලා දානවා නැති කරලා දානවා මොනවද commuting time. Commute කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ commuting time, which can be exhausting and stressful in big cities. Yeah. So also it has another one. For instance, I save 2 hours daily by working from home. However, and also there's a contrasting point. However, it can also be isolating for some people as they miss a social interaction of an office environment. Now, remember the COVID time? Many people tend to work from home actually, but like yeah, people like to get leave from their work, but when they're spending more and more time in home, so they'll miss that office environment, the commute time, and also the time we are spending in with our friends, some of our colleagues in the office area, and yeah, අපිට ඒ ඔක්කොම මිස් වෙන්න පටන් ගන්නවා, right? මතකනේ කොවිඩ් කාලේ එක අපිට සිද්ධ වෙච්ච හැටි. So if you're a nurse, ගොල්ලන් ගොඩාක් අර එහෙම වැඩ කරන කෙනෙක් නම් ඒ කාලේ වැඩ කරන්නම සිද්ධ වෙන්න ඇති මං හිතන්නේ. But if not, yes. So you had the chance to work from home. Even I had the chance to work from home because even then that time I was working in a particular institute and I was a lecturer there. IELTS, so I had to do online classes only. So yeah, so I had only two classes per day, like 4 hour classes. So morning and evening. I don't have to commute and also but when it gets time actually, when I work from home, I miss my old colleagues, the time we are spending together. It's not working only in offices නේද? office එකේ වැඩ කරනවා විතරක් නෙමෙයි, also we are enjoying some with our colleagues as well. So it was an enjoyable time when I was working there. So I really miss that when I was do this uh, working from home. So this is a particular answer for the first question. So if you want, you can just note it down in your book if you want. If not, you can take a screenshot, whatever. So this is a sample answer for the first question, right? And also, as I gave these questions last week, if you're ready, just in case if you're ready to answer at least one question from these three, මේ තුලින් එකකටවත් රෙඩි නම් ඔයගොල්ලන් ආන්සර් කරන්න මම කැමති chance එකක් දෙන්න ඔයගොල්ලන්ට. රෙඩි වෙලාව කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම්. නැත්නම් නැත්තම් රෙඩි වෙලා ඇවිල්ලත් මං chance එකක් දුන්නේ නැත්නම් ඒක හරියන්නේ නැහනේ. Like
Excuse me, miss. Shall I read?
yes, of course, please.
Why do some people prefer working from home instead
Yeah,
of going to the office?
sure.
So I think some people prefer working from home
Mm,
because some people have to travel long distances for their working places, and also they must spend more money for traveling, clothes, and meals. So if they are working from home, they shouldn't waste their time and money. On the other hand,
mm,
they can care their children and do their homework while doing official work.
mm.
Uh, as an example, in Corona period, many people worked from home. Uh, it was a reason to avoid spreading Corona pandemic situation. Finally, I like to say working at home, best solution for modern society using modern technology and global digitalization.
Wow, that's
Thank you, miss.
wonderful. Very nice, Miss Nirmala. That was a perfect answer. So happy. Really good. Yeah. So is there anyone else? Is there anyone else to answer for a one, at least for a one question? If so, I'd really like to give the chance. If not, I'll move on to the next part of my lesson. Okay, Miss Vera Singh. Yeah, of course, I'd like to give the chance for you about the social media. Which question you say?
Yes, it was the last, I think, below the tweet. Do you
Oh,
think
it's
younger
okay.
people
It's
spend
okay, Miss. Yeah, of
too
course.
much
You
time?
can read the question and also the answer. Doesn't matter at all. Yes, please.
Uh, the question was, do you think younger people spend too much time on social media?
All right. Okay,
So
Miss.
my
Yeah.
answer,
Go on.
I think yes, not only younger people, but also adults used to spend more time on social media, such as Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. I think there are two sides of engaging on social media. Some get positive outcomes, and while others get negative effects. Uh, for instance, you can have multiple benefits from these platforms, such as free online classes and provide additional knowledge. You can gain additional knowledge. However, for some people, they get addicted for these platforms, which will affect to their mind and body. If you feel more addicted for those platforms, I think you can get depression, and you can get also you can get fat if you when we are uh, looking at those platforms for too much time. uh, you are not actively participating for other uh, activities, so you can get other uh, disease such as non-communicable disease. I think uh, not only younger people, but also adult also engaging too much time on social media.
Brilliant, Miss Vera Singer. Thank you so much for answering. It was a very perfect answer. I'm so happy. Even the students who are in the class also, I'm like, even if there's no uh, a good number of students in the class, doesn't matter at all, because why? The students who are in the class are learning and they are doing a very what? I don't have the perfect word for that. They're doing a great work. I'm so happy about that because you two made the day. Yeah, you two really good, of course. So we'll move on to the next part, okay? Yes. Bear with me 1 second. Right. Right. And then after that, what we're going to do is actually, you remember last week I said that we have to practice a paraphrasing, because why is in some cases we have to paraphrase the question as well. Yeah, we have to say the question by some other words. So actually we have to be aware of different vocabulary and the sentence structures. Yeah. So, right. We'll see. So this was a question, right? I gave it. Make deal like that's why Miss Veera Singh answered for this question, the paraphrase one. Very good. Yes. We'll move on to the second question then. Yes. So we did talk about the why young people spend too much time on social media. So if we go to the second, it says, why is it important to protect endangered species? So it's important because every species plays a role in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. So see, so when you read these answers, even if you're not speaking, even if you're reading these answers, you will get touch with some vocabulary. So දන්නේවත් නැතුව සමහරක් වෙලාවට ඔයගොල්ලන් කතා කරගෙන යනකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට words එනවා. කොහෙන් හරි අහලා තියෙනවා මේකට කියන්න මෙහෙම එකක් තමයි නේ. මේව මට ඕන තරම් වෙලා තියෙනවා මේ සමහරක් වෙලාවට ඉගෙනගෙන නැහැ. ඉගෙනගෙන කියන්නේ මේ කටපාඩම් කරගෙන වචන නැහැ. නමුත් අර කවුරු හරි මොකක් හරි අහනකොට ඒක නම් මෙන්න මේකයි කියන එක වගේ එකක් එනවා. ඒක එන්නේ කොහෙන්ද කියලා දන්නෙත් නැහැ. පාඩම් කරලත් නැහැ. පාඩම් කරලත් නැහැ. කොහෙන් හරි මේ අහලා තියෙනවා එක්කෝ කියවලා තියෙනවා වර්ඩ් එක. අර එහෙම ඔටෝමැටිකලි එන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. Right? So, yeah, ecosystems. For example, if bees become extinct, it could affect pollination and food production. So, as you can see, revise the questions, the answers here. Definitely, young people tend to overuse. So, we can say, ගොඩක් පාවිච්චි කරනකොට අපි කියනවා overuse social media, as it captures their attention and often leads to procrastination. For instance, they may find themselves browsing TikTok for hours instead of completing their homework. Yeah, right. Okay, so yes, we have another one exercise. So it's about the comparison and contrast. So let's see what's that. Okay, so here, yeah, so what we're going to do is compare two scenarios or ideas in your answer. Because sometimes they ask, especially in the discussion part, they're asking some long questions. Yeah, so we have to get ready for to everything. Yeah, we don't know what what question they will ask from us. Yeah, so then we have to get ready for everything. Right. So සමහරක් වෙලාවට අපිට compare and contrast කරන්න සංසන්දනය කරන්න වෙනවා. I get up too early today because of the baby, and she was crying. And then after that, I had to make some, not some actually, we made a curry to the temple. So it's really tired. You see, I'm wearing the white clothes, so I just came from the temple. It's really tired. Right, so comparison and contrast, we'll see, right? So the task is actually what? Compare two scenarios or ideas in your answer. Okay, let's do this. Right, so we'll see what is the question first. අපි බලමු අපිට ඉස්සෙල්ලා තනියම මේක කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා question එකට මුකුත් නැතුව. Okay, so we have 3 questions, okay? So we'll read out the question first. The first one, I'll color the first question. So it asks from us, what are the advantages and disadvantages of online shopping compared to traditional shopping? Right. Okay. So nowadays, it's so famous, I think, among the youngsters, not only young, but most of the young girls, boys, yeah, they tend to do this online shopping. And also, I can see many video clips. I mean, they are sharing how they are unboxing their videos of unboxing of their parcels. So they do this online shopping and do like to share it with others. So it is like a trend these days. Isn't it? Yeah. So as I can see all these video clips, I can say, yeah, of course I can say that there's a trend of doing this online shopping compared to the past. So yes, and also yes, traditional shopping is also there. So they're asking of what advantages, the benefits and drawbacks of online shopping compared to traditional shopping, right? Okay, that's the first question they're asking from us. Yes, we do have, right? As we answered for the last question. අර ගෙදර ඉඳන් වැඩ කරනවා ඒ වගේ බට මේක time consume වෙන්නේ නැහැ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. Also we can now if we go for the traditional shopping we have to visit the shops. So and you know what I mean, like we are not shopping from a one shop. So if there's nothing to get it from a one shop, so then we have to go for another one as well. So sometimes it's really exhausting, isn't it? Yeah, it's really exhausting sometimes. And also, after visiting too many shops, we can't find anything but it cost. Yeah, it's really cost because we have to go for that places by our own self. But if you do online shopping, that's not like that. It's not really exhausting. And also you can do while you're doing something. So it's time consuming. Yeah. So likewise, you can have many pros and cons, benefits and drawbacks of these both. Both have the both things. Yeah. All right. So we'll move on to the second question as well. So it asks from us, do you think children's education is better now compared to the past? All right. That's another question actually they ask. So comparing the children's education. Yeah, children's education, past and the present. So how do you feel about that? Okay. Yeah, and it seems many facilities are there nowadays, right, for the children. And the education system, I don't know, education system is the same, right? There's no any updates in the education system, but the resources and the facilities a bit change. So yeah, you can discuss whatever you want. If you think that it doesn't matter whatever your opinion is. So කටට කියන්න පුළුවන් ඒක දැන් හොඳයි කියලා. And at the same time, the other person can say, no, it's not, it's the same, or yeah, like that. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're saying, whatever your opinion is, but the thing is actually we have to know how to compare and contrast, okay? So the last question is, how is communication today different from 20 years ago? Definitely, yes. Definitely, it has changed a lot. Yes, so it's about the communication, right? So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I know that it's easy for me to provide sample answers and read it out and do it. But the thing is, actually, we have to know how to um, say these things. So we'll move. I'll show you a one answer. I'll show you one answer, and so by looking at that, we can do the rest of it. Okay? Yes. Yeah. So I have the answer for the second question, which means what? Do you think children's education is better now compared to the past? So what I advise is just write these three questions in your book. लिया गन्नो का questions सुनमा, but I'm going to give a example for the second question, and I'll give the first and the third one for you to practice. All right. So just note down quickly the three questions, please. Yeah. Right? Okay, so we'll see how to do this. Yeah, I'll show you an example first, and I'll let you to read it first. Yeah. Right. So as you can see here, the answer says, I think that you read it, right? So yeah, but my question was what? ළමයින්ගේ නේද එඩියුකේෂන් එක පාස්ට් එකයි ප්‍රසන්ට් එකයි එක බලනකොට කොහොමද ඒක ඉම්ප්‍රූව් වෙලාද නැද්ද කියලා තමයි question එකෙන් ඇහුවේ. Right. So we'll read the question. I believe children's education has improved. So, you know, when you answer for the discussion, yes, the first of all, you have to give a direct answer. So, what I'm saying from my first sentence is it's improved. That's what my idea is. So, I say it has improved. Yeah. So, what the improve children's education has improved. How? කොහොමද? Significantly compared to the past. Yes. So in my first sentence, I'm completely giving a direct answer. So for one, so I have to give some examples and I have to tell how that has happened. Okay. So for one, modern schools have access to advanced technology such as uh, interactive whiteboards and online resources which make learning more engaging. Yeah. However, so I mean, like when you're giving answers for contrasting මේ වගේ compare and contrast answer කරනකොට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මෙන්න මේ වගේ words පාවිච්චි වෙන්න ඕන අලගේ answer එක ඇතුළේ මොනවද however කියනවා වගේ words අපි බලමු මොනවද ඒ වගේ තව පාවිච්චි කරන්න words මොනවද තියෙන්නේ කියලා I'll give some examples for you, right? So however, children today face more distractions like smartphones and social media, which can negatively impact their focus. So that's the disadvantage. In the past, yeah, in the past, education was simple but perhaps more disciplined because there were fewer external influences. So there's no any perfect answer for a one question. There can be hundreds of perfect answers for a one question, right? So it depends upon the words, the sentence structures, the way you're answering for a question. But if you follow the structure that I gave you, it's a kind of a safe way because we are doing everything in it. So if you have your own way of answering for the discussion, a better way of answering, so then you can follow it. I don't mind, but do consider some of these facts as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide some help පොඩි help එකක් දෙන්න යන්න මෙන්න මේ type of questions answer කරනකොට මොන type of questions ද compare and contrast questions answer කරනකොට කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ දැන් මම උදව් කරන්න යන්නේ මොනවටද ඔයගලන්ට chance එකක් දෙන්න යන්නේ මම first and third question answer කරන්න. Okay, so you note down the questions, both questions in your book, so you have the questions. The first one is it's all about the online shopping and traditional shopping. The last one was the communication. Okay, so bear with me 1 minute. I'm going to share my screen. Wait. Right. Here we go. Right. So use comparative structure. The first thing is actually what? We have to use comparative structures when we are doing this contrasting, when we give the answer as a contrast in a contrasting model. So, පළවෙනි එක තමයි අපිට comparatives use කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක තමයි examples like more than, less than නේද? As කියන word එක not as මේක වගේ නෙවෙයි මේක වගේ අනේ වගේ. ඊළඟට තව අපිට අර මම කිව්වා වගේ linking words තියෙනවානේ. However වගේ තව මොනවද words තියෙන්නේ? Whereas, on the other hand, similarly, likewise වගේ words use කරන්න පුළුවන්. Compare and contrast කරනකොට. So, you have these examples, right? So, I think it's better you to note down these things in a book. More than, less than, as, not as beautiful as අනේ වගේ ලස්සන අර වගේ words use කරන්න පුළුවන්. However, whereas, on the other hand, similarly, likewise. Okay, so we have a question out there. We'll see how to use these words, right? So it asks from us, do you think men and women have different taste in shopping? Okay, so this is also related to shopping. So we'll see how to give a proper answer for this question. So now here they are asking about shopping, but also at the same time they are asked us to compare and contrast among who? Men and women. Yeah, have different tastes in shopping. Of course, they have. Of course. So, how do we say it? Right. So, here say, in general, women are often more interested in shopping for clothes and accessories. Now, this is not a very complete answer for this question, but I'm just showing how to give an answer with the use of these comparatives and linking words. Okay. If not, yes, අර කොහොමද ඒ වචන පාවිච්චි කරලා අපි කියන්නේ කියන එකයි මේ පෙන්නන්නේ. Okay. So, in general, women are often more interested in shopping for clothes and accessories, whereas we compare, whereas men are more likely to spend on gadgets and electronics. However, this difference is becoming less pronounced as many men now enjoy shopping for fashion items too. So see this example. So it's make sure if it is a comparative, I mean, like if you need to compare and contrast, if it is a compare and contrast question, do use these words. So they're just keen on listening to you, and they're keen on listening to these type of words. So ඒගොල්ලෝ බලනවා මේ words ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඇහෙනවද අනිවාර්යෙන්ම තියෙන්න ඕන තිබිය යුතු වචන කියලා. Okay? Right. And then what? Show contrast clearly. අපි හරියටම පෙන්වන්න ඕනේ contrasting එකක් තියනවා කියලා මේ අදහස් ඇතුලේ. So ඒකට අපි පාවිච්චි කරන expressions තමයි මෙන්න මේවා. මොනවද? In contrast, unlike, on the contrary. දැන් අරක උඩ තිබ්බ එකේ නම් තියෙනවා however කියන word එකනේ. ඊට පස්සේ while, whereas, to show two sides in one sentence. Then make it whereas තියෙනවා. Whereas දාලා තියෙනවා. මේ පැත්ත women මෙහෙමයි, men මෙහෙමයි කියලා. Complete contrast එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා පෙන්නනවා. Right. So The question is what? How does life in cities differ from life in the countryside? Hmm. How does life in cities? City life එක කොහොමද වෙනස් වෙන්නේ countryside එකේ life එකත් එක්ක? ගමේ ජීවිතේ නගර ජීවිතෙත් එක්ක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? එතකොට දැන් compare and contrast එකක් තියෙන්නේ. So, read out this. මොකක්ද තියෙන්නේ? Life in cities is generally faster paced and more stressful, with people having access to numerous job opportunities and facilities. So you see, in the first sentence, it totally talk about the life in cities, but with the both benefits and the drawback. The first sentence, the first part says the drawback, it's so fast paced and more stressful. And on the other hand, also it has more like access to numerous job facilities, opportunities, and the facilities, more facilities. In contrast, now when you use that word, it shows that you're going to contrast, compare කරන්නයි දැන් යන්නේ. මොකද life in the countryside is slower and more peaceful, but there are fewer employment options. Both pros and cons are included there. So, when you answer for the compare and contrast, do contrast clearly and also try to use the linking words such as I have given before in the page. Okay? So, yeah, if you need, you can note down some points while I'm giving you this. If not, I can move. නඩියක් දෙකක් දෙන්නම් නෝට් කරගන්න දෙයකට තියෙනකට. All right. Okay. So let's move on to the next part then. And then what is it? Compare advantages and disadvantages. So this is one of the common questions they ask in IELTS question to compare advantages and disadvantages. So let's see how to do this properly, right? Mm. So highlight both positive and negatives for a balanced approach. So when you answer with this question, it does have to you do have to mention both parts of the things. So when you're saying this pros and cons, එකිනෙකට පරස්පරයි නේද? Black and white වගේ පරස්පරයි. එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අර කලින් කිව්ව වචන use කරන්න පුළුවන්. So we'll see how to do that, okay? Yeah, so the question says, what are the advantages of reading books compared to watching TV? Let's see. So, answer. Reading books allow people to use their imagination and improve their language skills. Watching TV, on the other hand, can be more entertaining and relaxing, especially after a long day. So, what is yeah, from the first two sentences, it gives the benefits of reading books and watching television. And then the next sentence says, however, books often provide more depth and detail compared to TV shows and movies. So it contrasts the idea, right? So they're asking what are the not the disadvantages. They're asking only about the advantages. So in that sense, we don't have to tell disadvantages කියලා කියන්නද but අපිට contrast කරලා කියන්න පුළුවන් answer එක. So yeah, you can read your I කියවන්නකෝ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ answer because මම කියනට වඩා ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ කටින් ඔයාලම කියවන එක තමයි වඩාත් සුදුසු. So yes. Right. Okay. Yeah. The next one is use real life or hypothetical example. So it's really good to add example. As you know, yes, as I as we talked from last week, it's better to provide some examples or personal experience to this type of discussion question. So if you don't have a real life answer, real life example, so then you can use a hypothetical one. Let's see. So adding examples makes your comparisons clearer and more engaging. Okay. So how do children's games today compare to those in the past? Let's see. So yeah, when you add examples, it becomes a lengthy answer. So in the past, children played outdoor games like hide and seek or hopscotch, which encourage physical activity and social interaction. Nowadays, many kids prefer video games which are more technologically advanced but are often played alone. For instance, my younger cousin spends hours playing online games, unlike my parents who used to play in the streets with friends. So, yeah, this is a very good answer. If you can, if you, if, there's, I mean, like, බලන්නකො මෙතන වචන දිහා බලපුවම ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙනවා මේ වචන අමාරු වචන. අපි කවදාවත් අහලා නැති වචන නැහැනේ මෙතන. It's only what the idea and also the word order. Yeah, the word order එක අපි පාවිච්චි කරන word order එක. So, yeah. Read it once again. තනියම කියවන්න එකපාරක්. එතකොට ඔයගලන්ගේ ඔළුවට යනවා මොකද්ද මේ කියන්නේ කියලා. Yeah. Read it one more time and then we'll move on to the next. So මතකයිනේ linking words use කරන්න ඕනේ, compare and contrast කියන හොඳ ලස්සන word එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ and try to add a example. So that example then make a personal experience එකක් නැත්නම් hypothetical one if කියලා දාලා add කරන්න පුළුවන්. It's really cold. Let's see. It's like 6. Okay, right. Highlight trends or changes over time. Yeah. So example, මෙන්න මේ වගේ compare එකක් බලමු. Discuss how things are evolving to show complex thought. So let's see. How has technology changed communication compared to the past? මොකද අපි මේකද කරන්නේ changes over time. නේද ට්‍රෙන්ඩ් එකක් නැත්තම් කාලයත් එක්ක වෙනසකට ලක්ුණු දෙයක් කතා කරනකොට එතකොට මොකද discuss how things are evolving to show complex thought. So how has technology changed communication compared to the past? So let's see an answer for this. In the past, in the past කියන එකෙන් පටන් ගත්තාම එතනම තියෙනවා මොකද්ද signposting word එකක් වගේ නේද ඒක indicate කරන අපි දැන් මේ past එක තමයි ඉස්සලා කතා කරන්න යන්නේ. So in the past, people relied on letters or landline phones to stay in touch, which was slower and less convenient. Today, with smartphones and social media, communication is intravenous. For example, apps like WhatsApp allow us to video call someone halfway across the world in seconds, which was unimaginable a few decades ago. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just the same thing, but yeah, if the question is like this, so we can use in the past and today කියලා words දෙක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. So it highlight what we are talking about, and in what time these things happened and all. Reading time again. Mm. So these are some tips for a strong delivery. Yeah. So what? Vary your vocabulary to avoid repetition. Instead of repeating different, varied, contrasting words words පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. Keep sentences clear and conscious. Use intonation and pauses to emphasize contrasting point. අර වචන කැඩෙන තැන්වල සෙන්ටන්ස් කැඩෙන තැන්වල පොඩ්ඩක් නවත්තලා නේද? හඬ උස් පහත් කරලා කතා කරාම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ටිකක් වැඩිපුර use කරන්න මොනවද කියන එක ටිකක් හොඳට කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So these are some of the tips for compare and contrasting questions in IELTS. Right? Okay, so I'll stop share and I'll move to the questions I showed you last time. So yes, the first and the third question. The first one was what? Advantages and disadvantages of online shopping compared to the traditional shopping. And the last question, you don't need to answer for the second. How is communication today different from 20 years ago? Right, okay, so as we did last time, I do like to give the time for you to give an answer for these 1 and 3 questions, right? Right. ඔගොල්ලන්ට ටයිම් එක දෙනවා. ඔගොල්ලන්ට ටයිම් එක දුන්නොත් මේකට ක්වෙස්චන් එකට මට ආන්සර් එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා yes එකක් දාගෙන යන්න. ඔගොල්ලන් yes නම් මම ටයිම් එක දෙන්නම්. no නම් ඉතින් දාන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ආන්සර් එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන් කෙනෙක්. මම ටයිම් එක දෙනවා ප්‍රිපෙයාර් වෙන්න. but ටයිම් එක දෙන්න කලින් මම මේ අහන්නේ ටයිම් එක දුන්නොතින් ආන්සර් එකක් දෙනවද කියලා. Like a promise. Yeah. So if not, doesn't need to give the time. That's why. Yeah. If I give time, can you give an answer for the first or the third question? I don't need answers for both questions because it's time consuming. So yes, very good. I got a one yes. What about the others? Yes, very good, of course. So I got more yeses. So I would like to give the time for the preparation. Yeah, for the first and the third question. And so we'll see whether all these things are there in our answer. අපි දෙන answer එකේ මේ කිව්ව දේවල් ගැබ් වෙලා තියෙනවද නැද්ද කියලා අපි පොඩ්ඩක් බලමු. ඔයගොල්ලෝ එකට ලෑස්ති වෙන ගමන් මම තව දෙයක් ක්ලාස් එක කරගන්නම්. All right. Thank you. And if you're ready, you can let me know. So no need rush. You can take your time, and when you're ready, let me know. රශ් එකක් නෑ මට ඕනේ හරියටම ආන්සර් එකක් ගන්නයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ගෙන් okay?
Madam.
After a long time, so yes. For what question you gonna answer?
The
The
first
first
question.
or the third?
Yeah, first question.
The first question. Okay, so let me ask a question from you. So that's easy then. So, what are the advantages and disadvantages of online shopping compared to traditional shopping?
Yeah, thank you for giving this opportunity to me. When compared with the past, nowadays we can find a numerous technologies invention in the present society. So online shopping is comes under the as a result of innovation and improvement of social media. Those days we were used to buy our clothes by physically visiting to the shops. It was too much of costly and time concern matter for us. When compared with the online shopping, time and traveling cost may be saved than the traditional shopping. However, traditional shopping provides us varieties of clothes, uh, uh, which is aligned with our personal measurements and as well as according to the fashionable trends in the market. Cosmetics with our designers. But online shopping doesn't offer that selection option because we once we ordered through that goods are not matching so through once we ordered though that goods are not matching with our requirements but and requirements and designers we are liable to buy or we are liable to buy them. On the other hand, physically shopping gives us more fun because all family and friends can together uh, join to the shopping and enjoy with the shopping. But when compared to online shopping, we won't get that enjoyment due to the it's an online deal. So, in my concern, the online shopping gives us some advantages as well as disadvantages also. But when still, if we have enough time and money, if we have traveling mode, it is that I encourage to buy physical traditional shopping because it can gain our entire satisfaction through the selections according to the market trends and according to the customized fashionable things we can buy through the traditional shopping. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it was a complete answer actually. Yeah, it was a very complete answer. Yeah. And also there were some examples. And when you say the example, and as I can remember the first time you mentioned about an example, so you started the sentence, those days I blah blah blah. So if you can start like by saying for instance, for example, අනිවාගේ word එකක් දාලම start කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් වගේ example එක it's better because it shows, it says that you're going to use an example. Also, they're giving marks for the cohesive devices. So even if you're not, even if you're telling an example, but without the word for example or for instance, so then you're missing a cohesive device there, but you can use it there, right? So it's better to use like those linking devices, cohesive devices, because you can get more marks for the usage of those words as well. Unless that, the other parts are all okay. Good. Right. Yeah. Is there anyone else to answer for another question? Yes, Mr. Nirmala is there. Which one? Oh, yes.
What are the advantages and
The
disadvantages on
first
online
question is.
shopping compared to traditional shopping?
Yes,
First,
yes.
I like to say there are many advantages and disadvantages in online shopping when we compare to traditional shopping. As advantages of online shopping, we can save our time. If we want any item from anywhere, we can get it by online. However, sometimes the item was ordered not in suitable size and also not in good quality. As example, when we order a frock, it may be not in suitable size. So it was disadvantage.
That's all
Okay.
right. Okay, Miss Nirmala. Yeah, actually, yes. So, yeah, the best thing is you started with the a direct answer. Yeah, and also you use the linking devices. However, yeah, to show that you're directly compare and contrast, and also, for example, yeah, you use that term as well. But yeah, everything was perfect except one. Sometimes when you're speaking, what happened is the tenses change. Present එකෙන් past එකටයි past එකෙන් present එකටයි switch වෙනවා. දැන් මේ වගේ question එකකට answer කරනකොට it's better to answer from simple present tense because yeah, when you say an example, it doesn't matter if it is your personal experience, so then you can say it from the past tense, and all other sentences should come from the simple present tense. Yeah, sometimes. And also a very good thing is your example was a hypothetical one. If can birthday can use kala kare පාවිච්චි කරේ, so it's really good in sense, but අරක තමයි චුටි අඩුපාඩුවකට තියෙන. අපි ඒක හදාගමු. මේක අනිවාර්යෙන් හැදෙනවා. අපි ටිකට ටිකට answer කරන්න. So Miss Veerasinghat අපිට
Thank you,
yes,
Miss.
Miss. Welcome. Yes, Miss Veerasinghe, yes, it's your chance now. For what question you're answering?
First one, ma'am.
The first one, it's okay. Yeah. Okay, you can start, Miss.
Yes. There are many pros and cons in both traditional and online shopping. Nowadays, with the technology, online shopping has become more convenient and time-saving method of shopping. For instance, we don't have to move to a place. We just only use the phone to select the material or the item to order. But in traditional shopping, we have to physically attend to the place and select the items which we are like or dislike. But when it comes to quality of the product, there might have some negative effects of online shopping because we only depend on the description or the photograph which seller provide to us. But in traditional shopping, we can touch the material, we can fit on the material. There are more options we can have during traditional shopping. But however, I think people use both online shopping method and traditional shopping method in same manner.
Very good, Miss. Yeah, I really appreciate that answer as well. So all things was there. Yeah, and also there was a conclusion sentence as well at the bottom. And one thing I noticed, he used the word but 3 times. But කියන word එක 3 times use කරා. අන්තිම පාර but එක හුවෙවත් එක ආවා. But instead of using but, we can say what? තව මොනවද කියන්න පුළුවන්? Whereas, while, නේද? But, however, yet. එතකොට එකම වර්ඩ් එක එකම ආන්සර් එකේ දෙතුන් පාරක් අපේ අතින් ආවොත් yes. ඔයාට ඒක ඔයා මම හිතනවා මිස්ටත් ඒක නෝටිස් වුණ නිසා තමයි but කියලා ආය however වලට මාරු වුනේ. Yeah. එතකොට self correction එකකට ගියා. ඉතින් මිස් දැන් අර කතා කරනකොට තමයි අපිට notice වෙනා නෑ. මම මේක කිව්වා. මම මේක මාරු කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඒක automatically ටක් ගාලා එනවා කතා කර යනකොට. And yeah, apart from that, all the other things was really good. Thank you very much for all of you to answer for my question. So let's move on to the next section now, okay? Really good. Okay, so that's about answering for the compare and contrasting questions. So these are the basic things, right? These are the basic things. So when we get used to do these basic things repeatedly, so what will happen is we'll get used to say the answers very correct way. And also like we මිස් කරා වගේ self correction වලට නම් අපිටම හිතනවා නෑ මම ඒ කිව්ව එක නෙමෙයි මේක තමයි හොඳ වෙදී ඊට පස්සේ better options වලට අපි අපිට කියලා දුන්නේ නැතත් අපි ළඟ option එකට යනවා automatically. Right. Okay. So here you have one sample answer as well. So we'll see. Yeah. So mameka yeah, අපි කියවනේ. කියව. Right. Yeah. So discussion වලත් opinions අහනවා. So expressing an opinion. This is a bit easy because in the first part of the questions and also some of our cue card questions also ask opinion from us. So this is a bit easy. State your opinion clearly and support it with at least 2 reasons. So then yes, you have given a good answer. We'll say. So here we have 3 questions. Do you think? Most of the time the questions start with do you think වලින් තමයි question එක start වෙන්නේ. ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට but do you think වලින් පටන් ගන්නවා කියලාම opinion වෙන්න sometimes whenever යන වෙලාවලු තියෙනවා. So do you think it's better to save money or spend it to enjoy life? Should university education be free for everyone? Is it better to live in a big city or a small town? ඔය last එක නම් මාරම common question එකක්. ඔය big city small town එක ගොඩක් ටිකක් බලාගෙන යන්න හොඳ වෙලාවකට තිබ්බොත් හොඳ වෙලාවක් තිබ්බොත් එන්න පුළුවන් question එක last වෙලා ගියොත් අහවි. Okay? Right. Yeah, so yeah, when you answer for opinion question, it's better to start with in my opinion. If not like in my perspective, as I think, wage terms වලින් අපිට use කරන්න පුළුවන්. I'll give some examples, okay, later on. Living in a big city is better because of the opportunities it offers. Yeah, so that is the direct answer for the question. And so we'll move on to the next sentence. So we are going to expand it. So we're going to give some examples and some reasons. For instance, cities have better job markets and access to high quality education and healthcare. So we go for the next point. Additionally, yeah, so remember to use cohesive devices repeatedly, but not the same one, okay? There's more to do in terms of entertainment, such as restaurants, theaters, and cultural events. However, also a contrasting sentence is there. However, the cost of living is higher, which might be challenging for some people. Yeah. So you can add a contrasting sentence as well. Even if it is not asked by the question to contrast and compare, it's better to contrast. It's better to compare and add a sentence at the last point. If not, yes, you can add a conclusion sentence. අර නිකන් conclude කරනවා වගේ sentence එකක් all in a nutshell වගේ term එකක් use කරලා කියන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඒත් okay. And then the fifth one is what? Solving a problem. These questions are a bit rare to ask in the discussion, but however, we'll just go through this because නේද වෙලාව කොහොමද දන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ඒ නිසා අන්න බලන්න මේ වගේ questions. So suggest some solutions to the problems. Okay, so we have 3 problems to solve now. The first one is what can be done to reduce traffic congestion in cities? So mainly we confront, we'll meet these type of questions when we are writing. Writing වලට වගේ questions ගොඩක් අහනවා. මොකද writing වල තියෙනවනේ problem and solution කියලා say type එකක් in IELTS. So you probably went through all these problem and solution questions over there. So you know how to answer for this question. So ඒකේ ලියන්න ගන්නවා මේක ඒකම කියන්න. Okay, so what can be done to reduce traffic congestion in cities? Yeah, think about that here. So we have some different type of solutions, right? How can we reduce the amount of plastic waste in the environment? What steps can schools take to improve students' mental health? All these three questions are really famous. Yeah. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අහන questions. ඒ කියන්නේ නැවත නැවත යෙදෙන අහන්න පුළුවන් questions. ඒවයි අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා මේව ටිකක් කට ලෑස්ති වෙන එක නුවණට හුරුයි. Right. බලමු කොහොමද answer කරන්න කියලා. Right. අඩු කරන්න කියලා කියන එකට අපි කියන බලන්න to reduce. නැත්තම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් විසඳනවා අපිට කියනවා to reduce traffic congestion කියන්න පුළුවන්. To control traffic congestion කියන්න පුළුවන්. To tackle traffic congestion කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ තව මොනවද? tackle කරනවා, solve කරනවා, reduce කරනවා නේ? ඒ වගේ words use කරන්න පුළුවන්. So cities could දැන් අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් suggesting නේ. එතකොට suggest කරන්න ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපිට would could කියන words use කරන්න පුළුවන්. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට could කරන්න පුළුවන්. නේද? නැත්තම් should යුතුයි government එක නම් should government should ඒ වගේ වචන පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට solution එකක් මෙහෙම කළා නම් හොඳයි වගේ අර්ථකින් නේද? එතකොට could කියන word එක බොහෝ දුරට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. So cities could invest in better public transportation systems such as more buses and trains. For what purpose එක කියනවා? To encourage people to leave their cars at home. කාර් එක ගෙදර තියලා බස් එකේ යන්න පුළුවන්. හොඳ ට්‍රාන්ස්පෝර්ට් සිස්ටම් එකක් හොඳට සැපට ඉඳගෙන AC දාලා නේද? ගෙදර කාර් එක ඩ්‍රයිව් කරගෙන යන්න හරි වෙලාවට බස් එක එනවා. හරියට on time බස් එකෙන් බහින්න පුළුවන්. නියමිත ස්ථානවල නවත්තනවා. නේද? එතකොට හරියට seats comfortable තියෙනවා නම් නේද? ඒ ඔක්කොම හොඳට තියෙනවා නම් අතරම තමන්ගේ වාහනේ යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේ. තමන්ට ඒ අදාළ කරන වෙලාවට ඔෆිස් එක ස්ටාර්ට් කරන ටයිම් එකට ඔෆිස් ඉවරන ටයිම් එකට බස් එක ළඟටම එනවා නම් බස් එකේ සීට්ස් ගන්නට විතරයි නම් මිනිස්සු ගන්න මේක නම් හීනයක්. නමුත් ඉතින් එහෙම වෙනවා නම් even අපේ මේ AC බස් එකක් ගත්තත් එහෙම නැහැනේ දැන් පොල් පටවල වගේ නේවා යන්නේ. And also the cost is not bearable. Right, okay, yeah. But yes, we can tell. For example, in Singapore, an efficient metro system has significantly reduced traffic. Another solution is to promote carpooling or introduce higher taxes on private car ownership to discourage excessive use of personal vehicles. So that's another one. All right. Yeah. And the next one is speculating about the future. So අර hypothetical questions වලට අපි answer කරා වගේ future දේවල් ගැන අපිට answer කරන්න වෙනවා. දැන් බලන්නකො මෙන්න මේ වගේ questions. How do you think the workplace will change in the future? ඒ කියන්නේ අනාගතේ මොන වගේ දෙයක් වෙයිද කියලා. So speculating about the future කියන අනාගතය ගැන අනාවැකි කියනවා. Right? Will people travel more or less in future? මේව අහන්නත් අපෙන් අහනවා. මේ වගේ questions අහලා තියෙනවා. And why? They're asking why as well. And the third question says, what kinds of technological advancements do you think we will see in the next 20 years? Some kind of questions. So these questions, මේ වගේනොත් could කියන word එක, would කියන එක, ඊට පස්සේ by the time, ඒ වෙලාවෙද්දි by the time, when වගේ words use කරන්න පුළුවන් time එක indicate කරන්න. Right? So will කියන word එක, yes, will කියන word එක, could බලන්න answer එකෙත් ඒ වගේ words ගොඩක් වෙලාවට use වෙලා තියෙනවා. I'm so tired, guys. I'm so sleepy. Right. Yeah. So we'll read the answer together. I believe මං හිතනවා මං විශ්වාස කරනවා people will travel more in the future because transportation will become a question second question okay will become faster and more affordable. Affordable කියලා කියන්නේ දරන්න පුළුවන් තමට දරාගත හැකි මට්ටම කියන එකට affordable due to reason එකක් කියනකොට because වෙනුවට use කරන්න බලන්න because of because ඊළඟට ඒ වගේම due to since as ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට අපිට කඩට එන්නේ because කියන word එකනේ so මුලින් හිතලම වෙනස් කරන්න ඕන නෑ මම because use කරන්නේ ඊළඟ සැරේ due to පාවිච්චි කරනවා කියලා. හිතලම දෙතුන් වතාවක් කතා කරනකොට ඒ වචනත් නිකම්ම ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ අර daily ඔයගොල්ලෝ vocabulary set එකට එකතු වෙනවා. So due to what advancement in technology, for instance, innovations like supersonic planes could make international travel quicker and easier. Additionally, වගේ තව වචන මොනවද? Apart from that, besides කියන්න පුළුවන්. Additionally, moreover, furthermore කියන්නත් පුළුවන්. නමුත් ඒවා ගොඩාක් අර use කරන්න ලියන්නනේ. ඒ නිසා apart from, additionally, to add more and ඒ වගේ terms use කරන්න පුළුවන්. As remote work becomes more common, people might have more flexibility to explore different parts of the world while still working. Yeah, I'll give 2 minutes for you to read the answer as well because ulla tapara kivagan answer එක. It's better to read. Okay then. Yeah. So yeah, we'll move on to another one then. Um, I have something else to show you. Oh yes. This is actually something related to the vocabulary, right? So you might need these words, right? අර දැන් අපි එක එක ජොන්රස් කතා කරානේ opinions කියන්න තියෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ contrasting and compare and contrasting අර ඒ වගේ එක එක කාණ්ඩ යටතේ ගත්තාම එක එක questions තියෙනවානේ right so this is actually for speaking part 3 yes of course we do need vocabulary right so මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්න දේවල්ම තමයි මෙතන තියෙනවත් ඇත්තේ ගොඩක් දුරට but මට හිතුණා ටිකක් කතා කරොත් තව ටිකක් ඔළුවට දාගන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. So this is the first thing is vocabulary for expressing opinion. මං කිව්වේ from my perspective as I think අර ඒ වගේ words අපිට use කරන්න I firmly believe it seems to me that in my view වෙන මේ වගේ words පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. මොනවා වෙද්දිද if it is expressing opinions. Opinion එකක් කතා කරනකොට so as you all can see for this question I use from my perspective. Do you think technology has made life easier or more complicated? So that's an opinion question. So I start that question with what? From my perspective to give the direct answer for my question. So instead of using from my perspective, we can say it seems to me that I firmly believe in my view as far as I'm concerned. So if you can start like these words, it's really good in sense because it seems that you are into the question. All right. Okay. So we'll see what is next. Vocabulary for speculating or predicting. So that was the last thing we did from the previous one. So yeah, when you say when they're asking some questions about the future, so then we can start with these type of words like what? It's likely that, it's possible that, there's a good chance that, I would imagine that, in the foreseeable future. So I would highlight these. I'll change the color of it. So if you need, you can note it down. But it's not necessary. I mean, like, it's not mandatory to tell or to write these words. But if you would like, so then you can do. And then finally, I'll go for another one. So yeah, that's the answer as well, but I will go for. So yes, I did this one, right? Comparing and contrasting. So yes, as we said, similarly, likewise, in contrast, on the other hand, whereas, compared. So we discussed these words early because I did some vocabulary related for this comparing and contrasting. So there's a question: how is modern transportation different from the past? So as you can say, I've used the term to the front of the sentence, like, compared to the past, modern transportation is much faster and more efficient, blah, 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 blah. So yes, so we'll discuss the other things from our next class, right? So today we discuss actually how to what? How to answer for discussion. But that is our main topic these days, because for the whole month we are discussing how to do this discussion part correctly. And also you did participated to answer for such questions. So you did great, really good actually. So also we learned some vocabulary and also how to do this compare and contrast questions and answers. So that's really good today. It's a good today. That was really good. And yeah, so we'll discuss the later part on next week. And අපි බලමු තව දේවල් ටිකක් මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අරගෙන එන්නම්. Some idioms, some vocabulary, some sentence structures, some අපිට use කරන්න පුළුවන්. And also we'll use them. And yeah, at the same time we can do some speaking activities as well. So that will help you to score more from your speaking test, right? So thank you very much to stay until the end of the class, and hope to see you again in next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, madam.